Tonight, the biggest test of his political career as Minnesota Governor Tim Walz introduces himself to America as he formally accepts the Democratic vice presidential nomination. Good evening, I'm Norah O'Donnell, and thank you for being with us again on day 3 of the Democratic National Convention. And what a crucial introduction it will be for the former school teacher, football coach, and 24-year National Guard member who is now running alongside Kamala Harris. Recent polls show voters like Walz, even though they don't know much about him. This new CBS News poll out tonight shows that 60% of Democrats are enthusiastic about him being on the ticket. But then there's another poll from earlier this month that showed 70% of registered voters had never heard of him or didn't know enough to have an opinion. So Walz will have his work cut out for him in his debut in front of the biggest crowd he's ever faced. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is following all of the action from the convention floor.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz sized up the podium this afternoon ahead of tonight's critical speech. Such a newcomer to the national stage, he's rarely used a teleprompter.
Tim Walz!
But the sudden, dramatic turnaround of the Democratic Party's presidential chances is perhaps best embodied by Walz, whose description of Republicans Donald Trump and J.D. Vance is weird. Caught fire.
These are weird people on the other side. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam room.
And it's his chemistry with Vice President Harris and a distinctly Midwestern resume that thrust him onto the ticket. Tonight, he's planning to highlight his upbringing in a small Nebraska town, his service in the Army National Guard, and his work as a high school teacher and football coach, work that eventually led to Congress and the state capitol.
This campaign has a lot of momentum. Can you feel it? Hell yes, we can feel it. It's what we do. It's what we do.
The campaign hopes Walz's folksy appeal can shore up votes in the key battleground states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain said Walz connects with those voters.
Midwesterners and people in the blue wall, they look at Tim Walz and they see themselves.
Republicans, meanwhile, are raising questions about Walz's military service, accusing him of retiring from the National Guard in 2005 to run for office rather than deploy with his unit to Iraq.
When you take that command, you're going when called. You lead your men and women in combat, and you certainly don't shirk away for political gain.
Walz retired in May of 2005. His unit was called up 2 months later. He has said he didn't know when or if his unit would be sent to Iraq.
I am damn proud of my service to this country, and I firmly believe you should never denigrate another person's service record.
As we wait for Governor Walz's speech here with members of the Minnesota delegation, also tonight they're set to hear from former President Bill Clinton, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and there will be more celebrities, the singers John Legend and Mary Morris among them. An acknowledgement by Democrats that sometimes the easiest way to reach voters is with a cultural connection. Nora?
Quite the lineup tonight. All right, Ed O'Keefe, thank you.